Today, I wanted to talk to you about overthinking. One of the big things that when you're starting out, you hear a lot of people say, well, it's all about the quality of your work, not the quantity of your work. But there's a little bit of a misconception there. How are you supposed to get better at something if you're not able to produce a lot of it in a shorter amount of time? Of course, over time, you can focus on much better quality, but to start out, I would say quantity is the way that you need to go, because if you were an employee and you had started a new job, are you going to expect to be the best on day one? No. It's going to take a couple weeks before you get better, and after a month or so you're like, man, why did I make this job seem so hard, or that thing seem so hard? And after you do it time and time again, I mean, think about it, after you've been in a job for a year, 2 years, you just go in, you punch the clock, you do your thing, you leave at 5. It becomes repetitive. But when you start, it isn't like that. You have to build that up. It's quantity over quality when you're starting out, and then I would say it's quality over quantity when you're later on in your career. So don't be scared to try something new in order to learn. I was watching Roberto Blake, and he's really big on YouTube. Some of you might know him. He kept talking about how everybody talks about making really good quality content and just putting it out like once a week. I decided if I'm gonna put out really good quality content and make it all perfect, then I may not get it out. So wouldn't it be better just to go ahead and start getting videos out and get my content out there, and then see what people like, what questions people are asking, and how I can improve on it? You know, you can't learn until you actually fail at something. It's kind of part of being an entrepreneur, and if you really want to do this thing, you're going to have to be okay with failing. I'm a perfectionist and it's really hard for me, but I have learned to let go a lot. And as you do it, it gets easier, because when you stop worrying, you know, when you are thinking about videos, the whole reason that you're making the videos, it's not for you. The videos are to help someone else, or to entertain someone else, or inspire someone else, whatever reason you're making them. So you're expecting someone else to view them. So if you're making them for you, it may not be what they want to see. Now, there's going to be an audience for everything, so you can find a niche for whatever you want to talk about. There is somebody that wants to hear what you have to say, trust me. I mean, how many times do you meet somebody and you hear them say, oh my gosh, I know exactly how you feel, or, you know, oh, I've been there, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing online. There's tons of people out there. It's just you may not have met them before. So when you're starting out in your YouTube videos, it takes time for those to get better. It's the same thing with social media. I know people get really frustrated with social media. When I started out, I was asking the most weird questions, and the more I started to post and the more I started to engage, I got a better response from people. And the strange thing that I feel like people don't get about social media is you're overthinking it too. If you'll just treat it like it's a person in the room with you. Hey, I like your shirt. Wow, thanks. I really like that post you have right there, or that tweet that you did, or that story that you talked about. I mean, it's the same thing. Start doing it, start posting, and you're gonna get the hang of it. You're never going to learn if you don't start and just do something and get it out there. And I mentioned the systems. This was something I kind of like failed at when I started, but when I was in my corporate job, I had tons of systems and they always told me how to handle everything, and it was like I had this conveyor belt from when I came in at 9 a.m. until I actually went at freaking 7. So by the time I get in at 7 and left at 5, I had a system that I had to follow every day. I knew the same exact people would call and the same exact stuff would happen, and every day at 12 o'clock I had the same people that called. I mean, it was so repetitive. It was just that, you know, that's the beauty of making videos and being on YouTube or whatever content that you're trying to put out there for your business, your brand. You can be unique in it, and you can start to figure out what customers like. And you may even find that I've had products I've worked with where they didn't even realize that they had an audience in a certain niche for the same product. So like they were already in travel and they didn't realize that they still had an audience for diabetic because their product was a sugar-free type supplement. And it really opened the doors to a lot of other things once they started putting themselves out there and getting feedback and listening to people. So quality does not trump quantity in the beginning. And like I said, don't be scared to try something new. You're never gonna learn if you don't try. Don't forget to join my Facebook group. It's a business and branding Facebook group, so you can talk about these things and get them off your chest and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, or I tried this and it didn't work. And you can also learn from some other people that are trying things and hear what's working for them. That's really the best way to learn, is to try yourself. But I also do kind of do some research and see what's working. And you want to be really involved on whatever you're doing. If you're into YouTube videos, then you focus on making those better and you focus on that platform. If you're trying to get really good at Twitter, then you focus on Twitter. I mean, it should be a daily thing where you're literally like searching the computer and saying, how do I get better at Twitter? How do I get better at YouTube? If you were in a job, aren't you trying to get better at that job every day? It's the same thing. When you're in YouTube, you have people, they're your boss, it's your viewers, and they want you to show up and they want you to do a good job and they want to hear what you have to say. They're coming to you for something. Inspiration, it could be entertaining, but or it could be educational. But the point is just to make quantity over quality and just get it out there. That way you can start improving on it. And one of the things that really helped me with overthinking things is getting organized and having a system, a plan, something to follow. So for me, I try to figure out what the problem is that I'm solving and backtrack into it and say, okay, what are all the puzzle pieces that I'm going to need to lead up to that? So don't overthink it from, I have this big problem to solve. Think about it in smaller steps of how I'm going to get there, and start putting systems in place. Start using checklists. I hope that you learned something today, and we're going to be putting more of these videos out. I'm trying to go on a little bit of a binge and do like a YouTube assault for like 30 days, but we'll see. I've been kind of hacking it and we'll see how it works out. So join me, join my Facebook group, subscribe to me on YouTube, and definitely check out the description below. I'm including all my checklists, and you can find that in the Work With Me link. But I'm gonna include my checklist. I include a lot of my downloads, and these are things that I've literally built myself from failing and trying. So you can use them to perfect on your business. And they may not be like perfect for your business. You just have to find what other people are doing and see what's working for them and then perfect on it. It's not going to be the same for everybody. So just try stuff and get it out there, and put your comments below. I want to hear what questions you have. What are you overthinking? And let's work through this. Okay? We got this.